Hey there, hi there, ho there, friends. Let's get set up real quick and we'll get started for today. Welcome to episode 7 of me doing my normal dailies. And hope this video helps others who are looking to play the video game get a little better. Sorry I've missed out on a lot this week. I've been sick and I feel a little better. I'm still a little coffee and still a little runny, but not like, like runny as in runny nose, not like, soggy bottom. But otherwise, I'm getting a little better. It's just whatever this year's stunt is, the flu is just what's absolutely killing me. Make sure that I got these. So I got started a little early. Before we started broadcasting because I wanted to get rid of them red dots. I feel like I spend like 10 minutes getting rid of red dots on both characters. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, well, I'll just knock them out. It's totally worth it. Get it out of the way. So today is a Sunday. So on Sundays, end game is typically we like to refer to it as catch up day because of all the days that you have to catch up. Sunday is the easiest because there's no clan events going on other than Rite of Exile. There's no vault, there's no assembly. You don't have to be responsible for 2 of the many items in this game that you have to do daily. So that's kind of a plus. I think is the best way to put it. Always a bonus when you're looking into that. So most people will usually do all their stuff between. So there's 2. It's weird. I know. Let me get some coffee in me real quick so I can get the squeak out of my voice. So there's a server reset, and then what we would refer to as kind of like a midweek reset. So the midweek reset occurs. The beginning of the week is Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. The end of the week is Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And Sunday is technically kind of the Sabbath day for the game, where there's not as much going on. I think that's the best way to describe it. So they divide the reset between Wednesday and Thursday. So Thursday morning at 3 a.m. Server time, the server will completely reset, and then you'll be able to do all of your raid bosses, all of your vanguards, and stuff like that. So most clans and war bands will run things Monday and then Thursday when they're available. And then some war bands and clans will kind of trickle out after that. So it's I've seen different folks, do different things and it worked for them. We run, like, for example, like my war band runs Mondays and Thursdays. My old war band ran Mondays and Thursdays because that was server reset week, or server reset days was Mondays and Thursdays. So we would, right before Shadow Wars on Thursday, about an hour before Shadow Wars on Thursday, we run our raids, and then we'll do like our endlesses and stuff like that too. So that way we get our points, get our involvement going, and so on and so forth. If you can, the whole point of this game, if you do not have a routine, you cannot play this game. That's just, if you are terrible at routines, this is not the game for you. Because you have to develop a routine system to play this game. Because there's dailies involved, and if you miss a daily, you put yourself, or you miss your bounties, or you miss any of your big quests, you put yourself behind. If you miss big events and stuff like that, you put yourself behind. Like this event that they've got going on right now. Shit, I am way out of my like this event that they've got going on now with the double XP, double gem drop and stuff like that. I'm saving that for Monday. And the reason why is because Monday's reset, I have 3 shadow quests, 8 bounties, stuff like that, that I can, shadow contracts and bounties that I can knock out. All right, let's see where we're at. Lightning Litman Towers. All right. So there's always something for you guys to, for us as players to, kind of get into in the game, and that's it's better than Circle Farm, and I'll tell you that much. So you got to build a routine around it, and then you got special events. All right, stuff like what's going on now with the shady stock, and then you'll have the double drop event, which is going on right now, and then I think like Survivor's Bane is coming up, and Conquest, and those normal events. You tie those in, and that's what actually will get you a good chunk of your XP. Honestly, is the events. You get battle pass points from events. It's why we try to focus people on, hey, look, if you're not doing your events, you're doing it all wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not just the dailies in this game. You have to participate in the events, and there's good reason. There's good rewards for them. It's not just loot. It's not just XP. It's Tellerant pearls. It's legendary crests at the end. You know what I'm saying, of the event. What's wrong with that? I don't see a problem with it. Do you? Why wouldn't you want to do them? Now, there are some events that I don't participate in. I don't do Conquest all the time, and I don't do Wild Brawl every time that it pops up. And a lot of that is just because I don't, PvP in this game is great, you know what I'm saying? And I love the PvP, and it's one of the, honestly, if you're a competitive player, it's damn sure one of the best games for, competitive PvP. But the downside to it is that it is a pay-to-win game. So you have to, if you're wanting to get into the, 1% of the game, you're going to have to invest some money. You know what I'm saying? But if you're like me, and you want to enjoy the game and play with others, and enjoy the camaraderie, you can play for free, and playing for free, there's nothing wrong with that. I 110%, love free-to-play players. My alt is free-to-play. Well, about as free-to-play as I can get when I buy battle passes, because when they're on the same account, on the same server, it's shared, for those of you who don't know that. So if you do have alts and you buy battle pass, your battle pass is shared with the exception of the cosmetics. It's the first in, first out rule with cosmetics. So whatever character gets the cosmetic, unlocks the cosmetic first, gets it. So you don't, you know what I'm saying? If you have a specific character you're collecting on, you don't want to deviate from that. But all of the other goodies are available to you. You know what I'm saying? So you can have fun with it. So that's just a little hint there. Not very many of the other things are. Some people, and this has never really fully been addressed as to why it's that way. Because typically when you buy something from Blizzard, it's account bound, but not everything is account bound in this game. So Battle Pass is account bound, and orbs are account bound. That's it. Everything else is, pretty much to the character. If they did gem sharing, oh god, game would be a little bit different. Hell, some of us with alts would probably have a hell of a lot more resonance. That'd be a fact. I'd probably, my characters are kind of almost the same as far as like gem structure, because there's only so many legendary gems that you can have versus builds. So I pretty much have almost the same gems on each character. So it wouldn't potentially be an upgrade, but being able to, like, say I wanted to play, like at the beginning of the game, like I felt like, and I'll tell you, like from my perspective, at the beginning of the game, I felt like I made massive mistakes when the game first came out. And this is just me speaking. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure some other people out there will comment on this a little later on in time and say the same thing. Like, yeah, I did some builds and stuff like that at the beginning of the game, and I wasted some money. You have to be very aware of your situation with your money. You know what I'm saying? Like with your cash flow. Because your gems are your money. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's legit. Like, you paid for those gems. Those are yours. You know what I'm saying? So The old system wasn't set up for way it is now, to where you can transfer gem power and keep the old gems that you had, kind of, with a little bit of gem power in them. But it's not set up that way. It wasn't set up that way, so we had to eat gems a lot. So I made a lot of mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I could go back and correct some of those mistakes, I probably couldn't, because they wouldn't have put me on the trajectory that I'm on right now. So I leveled my characters a bit differently than most. So I started with all rank 10 ones, then all rank 10 twos. Now I'm mixing twos and 5 stars together. So I'm coming at the end of where my free to play is about to hit the plateau, basically. Because you can't earn 5-star gems any other way than Telluric Pearls, and Telluric Pearls require time. You know what I'm saying? It's a time investment. And so that's where I'm getting at right now with my character, is the investment on the Telluric Pearls, starting to level up and replace some of the S tier 2-star gems with S tier 5-star gems. That's where I'm stuck at. So you can imagine because ultimately I have enough gem power to be close to 4K resonance on Oda. That's why, like, Oda is my main character. Oda has a lot of gem power, but Oda doesn't have good gems. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't say I don't have good gems. I don't have the best gems, the gems that I want. And if I had those gems, all 8 of them, I would be somewhere around 3.5 to 4K resonance on Oda. On Ray, close. I think I'm almost as maxed out as I can get on Ray, honestly, gem power wise. Because I I've got a couple 2-stars, but they're not rank 10s, so they really wouldn't. They might be able to boost a 5-star gem to rank 4 at best, but they're not. It's just I don't have enough gem power, and that's just it's the difference in how long I've played Oda compared to Ray in time. Like, doing all of the events, picking up all of the chintzy little 1-star gems, turning in all the Telluric dust, running all of the dust, running my dust out for the week, those kinds of things. So that's kind of where like I said, I look at it differently than most people. So I think of the investment of time, because that's what it is. I don't have as much of a monetary investment in this game as quite a few others do, but I have a investment in time. You see what I'm saying? And in people, you know what I'm saying? And in relationships. So you tend to not want to ruin those, so you keep playing. No, I'm just kidding. But the people that I play with are really good folks. A lot of them are really good folks. Of all of the game environments I've played, for those who are going to ask, there's a level of toxicity in every multiplayer game, and I think that when we look at it, and anybody out there who owns an Xbox or a PlayStation can say the same thing. They'll tell you, it's like, yeah, dude, it's a mess. You get called names out of character. It's just the racism on Xbox Live is real. It's redonkulous to have to go through all that crap to play a video game. So PC players are a bit different. I think a lot of it is because there's not a lot of kids on PC, or as many kids on PC as there is on console. So I think that's probably where it changes up a bit. But these kids, you know what I'm saying, like, they make it toxic because they want to get under your skin, but they don't realize, like, you're 20 years later, you're like logging in and you're hearing like your 5-year-old self from 20 years ago, say some shit. that you were saying 5 years ago, and you're just like, oh man, it's coming back. I couldn't get into the console wars, honestly. I was already a PC gamer in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? I owned consoles all the way up until PlayStation 2. I did have a Wii U for a little bit, but I couldn't get into it as much. You know, like, it was more for like to me the Wii was a family. You know, like it was a family game console. Like me and my ex girlfriend's kids played it a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? Like we played different games like Mario Maker and um, you know Smash, Super Smash Brothers Melee and stuff like that. So we played those together, but we didn't really, like it wasn't like my main console. I'll just put it that much. Like I can't stay on a game console, honestly. And the reason being is just because I have a lot more invested in PC than I could ever put into console. The other problem I have with console is that I feel like they're consistently releasing consoles just to release games that I already have. Skyrim. Yeah, I said it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a fact though. All they do is they re-release and re-release and re-release and re-release, and it gets old. I'm be the first person to tell you guys like it really does get old. And I noticed that with right after the PS3 came out, a lot of PS3 exclusives started moving over, or PS2 exclusives started moving over to PS3 shortly after, and then same thing with PS4. Xbox was doing the same thing. It was a mess. I'll put it that way. So I couldn't justify buying a game console every 2 to 3 years versus buying or building a gaming computer or laptop every 5 years. You know what I'm saying? Like it couldn't, because that's exactly what it felt like. It just felt like I was buying more of the, like I was paying for the hardware more. You're paying for the hardware more than you're paying for the software. And I don't have compatibility with Steam. I don't have compatibility with GOG. I don't have compatibility with EA games. I don't have compatibility with pretty much any of the libraries that I have bought over 700 video games from. You know what I'm saying? So no, you know what I'm saying? Like no. Now the new Xbox gaming PC that they're talking about, that I'm interested in, and I'll tell you why. Because it's supposedly it's supposed to be mobile, so they're getting into the mobile market. And as far as hardware goes, I trust Sony and I trust Microsoft nowadays. Is it better than a gaming PC? No. Is it close to a gaming PC? Gaming consoles, modern day game consoles nowadays are closer to a PC than they have ever been. You know what I'm saying? So, do I think that it would be great for me to have a handheld? Yes, especially since it's supposed to be Windows based, which is going to give me the ability to log into Steam, GOG, EA, BattleNet, and Xbox Live. So, and be able to play all of my games, extensively through my catalog. That's the bonus. So, and I've been taking a look at these handhelds as they've been evolving over the last 2 to 3 years, like with the Asus ROG, the Lenovo Legions, and even Logitech has one out. So, and I've been thoroughly impressed. So that, if I were to buy a quote unquote modern game console, it would probably be the Xbox handheld that's coming out. Because again, it's Windows based. And if it's Windows based, as long as, and I'm going to take a look at it, I'm not going to buy one as soon as it comes out and be like, oh, man, it's like the greatest game console, and, misinform anybody. I'm going to do, my own personal market research on it, see what it's compatible with, see what it's not compatible with. You know what I'm saying? Before I go out and buy, I'm not just gonna be that guy that throws myself into the loop. So, but the other part about Sony too is in the more recent years, Sony has sold out to stay alive. Because even though the PlayStation 5 is an incredible game console, and it looks nice. Its problem is that during the writers' strike and during it knocked out a lot of the game developers, so they put them way behind on development. So what do? They sold to Steam. You can buy a game of PlayStation exclusives to play on your gaming PC through Steam. They tested it with a whole bunch of their old IPs first, and then when they released Helldivers 2, Helldivers 2 took off on PC, and it put PlayStation and PC players together for the first time on a huge basis, and it was huge. Like Sony saw dollar signs and immediately started releasing more and more games from their vault. So all these Spider-Man games and like I said, all these Sony IPs they're selling, and Sony is now learning that they can support their company on the backs of PC gamers, because your games are good, we will buy them. You know what I'm saying? The problem that I've always said, and we didn't know this until the internet evolved to a point where exclusivity became obsolete. You know what I'm saying? Like, coming up, you knew, like, a game was exclusive to console. Okay, so for example, if you grew up in the Mega Drive, Genesis, Super Nintendo, Atari, Jaguar, TurboGrafx 16 era, then you knew that most Square Enix games were going to be on Nintendo. Okay, if you grew up in the Sony PlayStation, Sega Saturn, Sega Dreamcast, and Nintendo 64 era, then you knew that Final Fantasy Square Enix games were only on PlayStation. You see what I'm saying? Because there were a time where game companies were buying exclusive rights to development companies. Now, what essentially happens when you do this is that you put these development companies inside of a box, okay? And you limit them to your console, and you limit the amount of money overall that they can make, and they essentially go broke over time. It literally, a good successful game console company can go broke overnight with one bad release. Just one. You know what I'm saying? You could, unless you're like a studio like, again, Blizzard, Square Enix, or, EA, Bungie, one bad release can ruin a game studio. So when you were assigning these, exclusive contracts with Sony or with Nintendo or with Sega, you were putting it all on the line. Now, if you were an independent, variable like Konami or Tecmo or Tencent, those game consoles or those game companies, they operated outside of just licensing to develop on the console. You see what I'm saying? So they weren't exclusive. So games like Super Tecmo Bowl, you know what I'm saying, and even eventually Madden boiled down, because Madden was originally if I'm not mistaken, I think it was a Sega exclusive for the first couple of years, and then it went to Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. So I was not a Madden fan. I couldn't get into it. I played Tecmo Super Bowl. I played Joe Montana football, and that's pretty much it. I wasn't a big fan of any of the other football games. I think Madden was, to me, it's just not was never my cup of tea. I like now. Don't get me wrong. I like watching people play Madden. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll sit and watch a Madden tournament every now and again, just because, it's competitive, and I like watching people be hyper competitive with each other, especially with video games. Uh, but it doesn't make to me it doesn't make a difference for me to play it because one, it's just not my type of game. I was over, like I loved NFL Blitz. I loved NCAA 2K, 13 and below. You know what I'm saying? I love, um, everything about street football and mutant league football and like just really simplistic. I just felt Madden is too advanced for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I know some people are like Madden advanced compared to the football games that I came from, which were push a couple of buttons. You know what I'm saying? Um, wasn't all that great. So but Madden gave a lot more options, and I'm not going to knock it because it is a fantastic series of video games. So there's that. And with Madden gone, I don't know how they're going to handle their NFL series anymore. Like, I don't know if they have like an agreement with the family to continue to develop video games, but they definitely can't revoice him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's impossible unless like they've had him say like every first name possible and every last name possible. It's just or they use AI, which I know a lot of families are for and a lot of families are against. I am on the whole AI thing. I think that I am kind of neutral on it because I want to see where it can go. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I was an actor, okay, and this is just for me, like I put myself in different positions, try to think outside of the box. So if I was an actor, right, like a legendary award-winning actor, like a Clark Gable or something like that, and they had found a way to immortalize me. You know what I'm saying? Like, because actors are gonna have these BDEs. I call them BDEs, big dick ego. But actors are gonna have these big dick egos. So I, putting myself into that, like if I wanted to immortalize myself forever, I would definitely sign up for AI. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what they do with me at that point. If they want to put me in car commercials, be all that. As long as the estate is making money, I don't care. If my family is happy, you know what I'm saying? If I had a wife and kids, and like I'm thinking generational wealth. You know what I'm saying? Like generational wealth it's hard to come by. You know what I'm saying? It really is. Like, because there's, you have your generation wealth, and then there's generational wealth, like where you're passing it down from, what you started to, 5, 10 generations down the line. Like they're still living off the money that you made, So generationally is, like if I was thinking generational wealth, I would sign up for AI if I was an actor, or if I wanted my voice to be consistently heard, or them to use my voice throughout the rest of eternity, because again, we're stumbling across it now. For those that on the other side of the fence, I also see your point of view. Like I wouldn't want, like, I wouldn't want my copyrighted stuff to be used in other fashions, you know what I'm saying, either, like, because I got to look at the big, the big picture. And I've seen, like where a lot of actresses are concerned that their AI, attributes from them being put into AI may be used for adult films or things of a nature that they may not be comfortable with. So I see that point of view too, and I'm not taking away from that. But if I was, again, an A-list actor, multi-millionaire, like my ego is just flexed, I don't think that I could turn down the ability to do a to do AI, you know what I'm saying, for that. So I'll go ahead and sign up. so that way I can get it done and get it done. I've been pretty sick, so I'm gonna take a look. This is probably terrible. My D's are way. As long as I don't fall below an 8% badge, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm not falling below an 8. I'm getting the 12, which is cute. I've just not been as active as I normally have because I've been sick. I've already signed up for early. All right, so now we got to move to the other character. Oh wait, no. We forgot something. Something very important. Shadow Quest. My friends, Shadow Quests are important. And I did not send my nerds out. So I'm going to send these guys out for 4.5 hours. Yeah, I'm off today. I've got to sign. I've got to, see if I can get some hours. I took some time off. I really needed it. I'm sick. Like, I sound good, but I do not feel 100%. I'm more along the lines of like the mid 80s. I'm okay, and then like something starts scratching in my throat, and then I just go into a coughing fit. My housemate seems to think that I might have whooping cough, and so I steer clear of people. You know what I'm saying? It's just steering clear of people's the easiest way. All right, so we're gonna go to Ray Ray, and we're gonna do Ray Ray up, and go from there, folks. Like I said, I like doing this with you guys. You guys make. I don't care that the commander's frame is expired. Now you see what I'm talking about with these red dots. I didn't do this on Ray Ray, but because I was going to save about 5 minutes, or on Oda, so I saved about 5 minutes. I did this like prior to even streaming. I didn't want to be. Oh, we got members. We have an application. Oh, buddy, you. Why not? Fuck it. We need new players. We have people come and go. I didn't know that Severian left. So, to each their own, man. I can't control people. Ain't my job, anyways. Damn, that's so close to popping. I bet you it pops when I do that. Red dots, like I said, consume most of your time because it's just alerts, to let you know that like something's going down. All right, so now maybe I've got enough. This should pop over to like 10% soon. Yeah, I got enough. Nice. I'm pretty sure now my Seekers is nope, did not light up. I'll take it. Yeah, we won, but we didn't do all that great. We're getting hurt. What's hurting us? Ooh, shit, we fell down to 17th. Hell yeah. Good job, guys. Hell yeah. Alright, so I gotta kinda you always got to send your clan a little bit of a pep talk. You know what I'm saying? Because our clan is split up between two clans, and it's a really easy explanation as to why. Clans can only hold 100 people, and typically friends, family, all your homies, and all that other stuff coming together. will typically fill up 100 slots really easy. So when you have more than 100 people, then you start a second clan, and then you start recruiting through that second clan, so you have alternates that you can go in, because out of 100 people, it's automatically assumed, okay, that each cycle you're going to have roughly between 7 and 10% attrition, which means that out of 100 people, 7 to 10 people will end up leaving the clan every 7 weeks. There's nothing you can do. Sometimes it's just life. Sometimes it's whatever. You can't, you're not that person. But what I can tell you is that, yes, that is a legitimate number. Roughly, almost every clan has anywhere from about 5 to 10% attrition every cycle. And how that occurs is players, real life incidents happen, drama, which we don't experience too much. We have, you'll have people just get disinterested in being in a competitive clan, or people get disinterested in being, in or having so much responsibility in a competitive clan that they want to take a casual backseat. So you have to design an element in order to keep them in the fold. You don't, like, they're your friends, first off, all right? So why would you want, one of your good friends running off to another clan playing with them if you can't deliver what they need? Okay, so if your clan is hyper competitive and your best friend, works like a dog, you know what I'm saying? Damn it. Then, you can't, what I'm saying? It's just not possible. I need to get these. I'm not going to have enough of this tomorrow to buy anything. I'm working on this, actually. I'm trying to rank those out. So what we did was we took a look at the fact that we had attrition and that people were coming back, you know what I'm saying? Like, they take a cycle or two off and then they come back and they want to come right back in the clan. Well, we'd have 100 fucking, people in the clan, like, immediately. And so we didn't have room. So they designed this, and I can't say I designed it because I wasn't here, but I know this is how we did it too. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I'm good friends with our clan lead. And so I spoke to our clan lead and, compared notes. And it was basically the same exact blueprint. It was very simplistic. It was keep them in the family. And the way you keep them in the family is sometimes you have to make another clan. A clan for alts and casuals and for people who need a moment to get caught up. And so that's what the D team kind of started out as, and now it's kind of turned into its own thing. We recruit from our smaller clans because we have like 3 clans. Like, when people can't, like, when people start failing to show up to D team stuff, then they get moved to another clan. You know what I'm saying? And, that clan has even more relaxed. So, again, and we've managed to keep about 350 to 400 people in and out of all, the conglomeration of what we have. You know what I'm saying? By simply doing that. And people are cool with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, all they have to do is ask. If they want to go up to, say, like, if they're in S&M, which is our other clan, and they want to go up to D team, because you have to go up, you know what I'm saying? There's no going down. So, you go up. So if you want to go to, like, you can't go down, but if you want to go to the D team, because you're finding yourself to be a little bit, have a little bit more flexibility with your schedule, then they automatically come up to us. All right. Now, B team is the premier, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the big boy leagues. That's the #1 clan on the server. So the way that we develop that is that we have specific requirements and increments that the clan members need to hit in order for them to be considered. And it isn't, like, some people are like, well, yeah, that's not fair because then you're just inspecting their gear and looking at their residence. No. We do it a little bit different in our neck of the woods. So with D team, it's very simple. I only track their shadow progression. I don't track their resonance. I mean, I do track their paragon levels and so on and so forth, but that's just So, to know, like if I have to put them into a battle or something like that, so I know that I have these people. But when it comes to like what their requirements are, I, tell them flat out, like, okay, so this is the B team's, system requirements basically. And I'm not going to have as high requirements, but if you go up to the B team, these are the numbers you have to hit in order for leadership to take a look at you. And so that's how we've kind of, done it on my end of the books. Now, on their end of the books, they look at shadow rank, then they look at combat rating, then they look at resonance, and then they look at secondaries. Because again, like we're not elitists. Sure, we're number one right now, but we're not that elitist scumbags that is going to break down everything. Now, if you want to get into ROE with us, yeah, you're going to have to, you're going to have to come up off of some of those stats. You're going to have to unask some of that shoot. But for the most part, we try to keep it, fairly playable. You know what I'm saying? Because there's enough whale clans on this server, and we wanted to prove that, to me, I wanted to prove that you whales don't do shit. And, being in the B team is, has been like one of the best privileges I've personally ever had, because it proved at that point that a bunch of scrubs, you know what I'm saying, that have, decent resonance can, help can basically run the server, and we won last cycle, so we carried the server last cycle. You know what I'm saying? It was great. And again, our clan, out of the whole conglomeration, our clan basically did all the work for the reign. You know what I'm saying? And I was very, very shocked. You know what I'm saying? Very, very shocked going into it. But, again, you've got exhaust with some of these clans too. Like some of these clans have been in power for so long that, like they're just going through the motion, not excited about it no more. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's another day at work. You know what I'm saying? Where you got new clans that get in there and they're excited, like, oh my God, I'm immortal, I can finally, beat the game basically. Because like we tell people, like when you go to the immortal side of the fence and you've played both the immortal and the shadow side of it, you've basically beaten the game at that point. If you've rated everything, you know what I'm saying, you've touched all the content there is to touch. Because what's an ROE? You know what I'm saying? It's it's the same, and a lot of times, you get to participate in that too. And that's exactly what we did. We spread it out. You know what I'm saying? We spread out the love. So, same thing with Vigil. Like if they've never been to Vigil, we have to explain that to them. It can be a little bit of a mess sometimes, but they've really matured out. And once a clan gets to running the Immortal the first time, it's pretty easy for the second time, because they beat you mercilessly into submission. It's ridiculous the amount of stuff you got to do. It's 3 times that of a shadow. Legit. 3 times. Like, legitimately 3 times. You have 3 times the amount of goals that a shadow has to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, shadows get 20 goals and... Let me do my math here. 9 contracts. So they get 29 things that, 29 responsibilities that they have throughout the week. Immortals get 60 goals that they have to turn in every week, plus Kions, plus Corvus, plus Rite of Exile. It's not easy, So, and that's what you have to ready your clan for. So for those of you that ask, on an honest basis, like, why do I have to, like, why does my clan lead constantly berate me about, like, getting my goals turned in? Well, man, because you have to train yourself to be able to do the shadow side of the fence. Do you see what I'm saying? And the immortal side of the fence. And if you can't grasp the concept of being a shadow, you'll never grasp the concept of being an immortal. You know what I'm saying? So, and what do I mean by that is that if you can't do, damn, I got 2 Legos out of this. If you cannot do your required shadow goals, you know what I'm saying, then you'll never be able to do your immortal goals because there's 60 of them. You know, that's it's just common sense. It's math, you know. And so that's when you start weighing in your players, you know what I'm saying? And you got to know your players' limitations, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just be like, yeah, man, I'm going to go be an immortal and then have a clan full of casual players because your reign will last exactly 5 weeks. 4 weeks, actually. You will go down in 4 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like, you will only be in power for a month. That's the minimal amount of time, by the way. For those of you that want to know how lengthy, minimum is 4 weeks, maximum is 7. So, uh, so if you want to go all 7 weeks, you've got to have people that are not just beefy, but show up to everything, that want to do ROEs. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to rely on 80 out of 300 people to fill the void. And if they can't fill that void, then you're pretty much screwed. You're not going to have a good time with it. So that's why, like, if you're asking, well, why does my clan lead always like jump onto us about our shadow goals? And well, dude, it helps you first off, and they're looking to develop you, but it also helps the clan on the leaderboard. Shadow Wars gets them into the top 10, but the leaderboard does so much more. It regulates the top 10. Do you see what I'm saying? Damn, I walked out with 4 Legos. Y'all saw that, right? I got it on video. So this episode, 4 Legos, awesome. So and so if you can't get your clan to compete, then there's no point in having a clan. You know what I'm saying? Like, other than just to sit around and be casual. And there are people that are happy with that. You know what I'm saying? We hang out with a group of people in a clan called Let's Go Brandon, and they're ran by a clan lead named Ricky Bobby, and she is awesome. First off, she's one of my favorite people in the world, so I'll never say anything bad about her. But they're casual, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have invited them so many times to come up with us. Hey, like, merge with us. Hey, look, come up with us. You know what I'm saying? They won't do it. Why? Because they want their own shit. Get it? I get it. I do. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're protective of the things that they started. They want to, now their members come up sometimes with us, but their whole entire clan won't. You know what I'm saying? And they're a tiny clan, but they're feisty. They're scrappy. Mm-hmm. Yep. So you've got clans that are like that, and then you've got clans that are looking to merge. You know what I'm saying? They're feeder clans, like, they came from a bigger clan, something happened, they started their own clan, realized like they were way in over their head, and then they didn't want to do it anymore, that kind of stuff. I've been there too. Like, I started a clan when the game first started. I ran the clan for nearly a year before I merged. I couldn't put up with the drama. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was just too much of it. It was a lot of it. I tell people, I said, a lot of it was herding cats. It's herding cats. Because that's what it is. You're having to tell adults where to go, what to do, and like it is. And if you don't believe me, like, go listen to a Discord chat or read a chat room when Shadow Wars is going on. You'll have all these adults that have been playing since the beginning of the game still asking the same funky questions as, oh, well, where do you need me? Like, dude, you've been doing Shadow Wars for 4 years, man. You already know where you go. Sometimes they ask it just to be an asshole, but most of the time it's actually legit. They just want to know where to go. Don't make fun of players like that. Don't punish them for that, but know that that's still always going to happen. That's the part of herding cats. They know they belong in Exalted 2, but they're still going to ask if they're needed in Famed 1. That kind of shit. And it's good that you have people that voluntarily do that stuff, though. We don't knock them. It's just, that's what you get into. You get a good enough players in there. Get a good group of players in there, and they'll literally volunteer for anything. And that's the thing, like, you need to design, like, helpful, you know what I'm saying? Like, be helpful, help the server. You gotta, other thing you gotta realize too, in any MMO game, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I tell people, like, To quote a movie, The Watchmen. I'm not locked in here with you. It's you guys that are locked up with me. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it is. And you got to think about it. Like, so when you start a new video game, right? And this is what happened with a lot of folks. Why a lot of clans failed at first was you got these guys who were mobile gamers and they're also Xbox gamers and they were mixing with PC gamers. PC gamers have had these types of games on lockdown forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why a lot of clans took off so fast was because we had previous experience with other MMOs, like WoW. You know what I'm saying? World of Warcraft, EverQuest, stuff like that. You have to have, a blueprint for how your clan runs. Okay, so if your blueprint is faulty, your clan's going to be faulty. You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't have good leadership, if you don't have the ability to be flexible, it's not a dictatorship. It doesn't work that way. Like, and that's even myself. Like in my younger years, I made that exact same mistake of being like, this is my clan, my clan, my clan. No, it's not my clan. It's our clan. You know what I'm saying? I had to break myself of, well, my clan, my clan, my clan. No, our clan. We built this. You are not 100 people. You know what I'm saying? And that is the ego that a lot of clan leads, it leads them down to a very dark path, is that they think that they own you. Like they don't own me. Like I do what I want. But sometimes you'll get these really hyper ego-eccentric guys that are, oh yeah, I started this clan, and yeah, you did the recruiting. You know what I'm saying? And hats off for that. But you don't own those people. Those people can go anywhere they want, anytime they want to go. You know what I'm saying? They're comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like you start swinging weight around like that, and then you start making people uncomfortable, and that's what you don't want to do with people. You know what I'm saying? Stop making people uncomfortable. Just let it, you know what I'm saying? Let it smooth in. The best thing that you can do is treat it like a family, dude. Like, like y'all are like distant cousins or second cousins or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like they're still part of the home. You know what I'm saying? Like home, if they can always go elsewhere, you know what I'm saying, and have fun. But they're wanting to stay and have fun with you. And that's an important part, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you can keep the same 100 people in your clan forever, you know what I'm saying? With attrition, it's always going to happen. But without any drama, hardly any drama, then you've got a good, you've got good leadership and you've got a good clan. Okay, regardless of whether you're a top 10 clan or you're a bottom 10, you're still, if you can keep the same 100 people interested, doing, working together, helping each other out, then you have good leadership and you have a good clan. And those are important parts about clan leadership. Is like, again, they can go elsewhere to get the goods. You know what I'm saying? If they wanted to, and don't think that they ain't got enough rezo, or they ain't got this. Dude, people will talk. Some people can sell themselves really well. I know people like that. You know what I'm saying? I've known people to be able to legitimately sell themselves really good. And again, if you don't treat them good, they'll go elsewhere. And whose fault is that at that point? So you gotta, you can't threaten, you can't be belligerent, you know what I'm saying? You can't show anger, you can't, you've got to be, pretty set, because people will follow confident people. To outline your goals, tell them what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, they need to know. It's their right to know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've always had this issue with transparency and letting people in. Now, there are some things that you cannot talk about, like strategy, PvP strategy. Of course, you don't want to tell that to everybody, because loose lips sink ships. Same thing with, like, if you've got somebody that's, in a specific role, like, you don't want to leak your roster, you know what I'm saying, for a fight. So we don't do that. It's like, letting somebody in, watching you, letting your opponent in and letting them, have a video game on you, practicing, that's the kind of stuff you don't. But when it comes to anything that affects the player individually, that we, on a decision that we may make, you know what I'm saying, like, I'm all transparent with them. It's like, this is how we, we go about it. So, can it be exciting? Yeah, man. It's always exciting. Can you build, long-lasting friendships that'll last a lifetime? Hell yeah, dude. Like that's the best part about it. Is you're building friendships, you're building relationships with people. So you know, and so that's why it's imperative that you have something in place. So that's just me saying this. To each their own. Now there are some people, they rule with an iron fist and they think that being mean and being nasty is the only way to uh, get your point across or to be number one, but that is not the case. We're number one, and we're actually probably one of the nicest clans in the game. You see what I'm saying? Like, we take care of people. People like hanging out with us. They like bringing us up with them. So when it's not ego, it's fact. You know what I'm saying? Like, we humble ourselves. Like, even though we know better, like our way may not be the best way. You know what I'm saying? And their way may not be the best way. But if they are in charge of something, then we're going to do it their way, even though our way may be optimized. You see what I'm saying? Could be suggested, though. We do suggest. So there's a lot, and this isn't just carry into this game, folks. This is every online RPG, every MMO has the same basis for clans. You have to be able, because this is just this is sociology and psychology 101, man. You're dealing with a social aspect of the video game, and so not as easy. God bless, man. Where are these guys coming from? Oh, this is some bullshit. I didn't even, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't even do nothing. Like, there wasn't anything there, and all of a sudden, that thing just respawned. So, manner. But, so the next thing that, for you new players out there to know is pay attention to everything. The way I've always learned is question everything more than one time. If you can question everything in more than one time, you can play this game. You can learn this game. Things change, and that's why I say question things more than one time. So you can go into it. Over time, it's taken me, when you play the game, you get used to how the stats run, the stat blocks run, and what you are required to do in the game, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So when you get used to it so much, you kind of are capable of spouting it off. But if you really want to play, you got to understand what the metrics are and how they break down what's important and what's not important. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot to do, and there's a lot of things that can be confusing to a new player. And again, that's why I do these videos and have these conversations while I'm playing, so if something does come up, or somebody's like doing some research or something like that, we can work on it, we can tweak it as we go, or we can talk about it or have a conversation. I'm pretty knowledgeable about a lot of things. I won't say everything. Like, I don't play Necromancer, so don't ask. That's just the truth. Same thing with Blood Knights. I don't play Blood Knights, so don't ask. I've played everything else, but I just can't get into those. It's just not my style of play. Plus, why would I want to be able to give up the ability to do stuff like this? You know what I'm saying? It's like hundreds of thousands and even millions of points of damage to, it just, couldn't do it. It's not my thing. But I can tell you about Crusaders, Barbarians, Tempests, Wizards, and stuff like that. I've played those characters. Not much into the Demon Hunters. I didn't, and it's not to knock the Demon Hunter class. I just felt like the Demon Hunter in this game was like 1% of the Demon Hunter in Diablo 3. So, like, I just didn't, two, I felt the class outside of the Wizard, the Demon Hunter is probably the second squishiest class in the game, and I do not bode well starting with squishy classes. I learn them, easy, but I don't bode well starting with them. I started a wizard. You know what I'm saying? Like Ray originally was a wizard before I created Oda. I created Oda, I think, 24 hours after I created Ray, and then I just immediately just started playing Oda because Oda's survivability was insane. And this is before any class changes or anything like that were adapted into the game. So you know, more you know. All right. I think I got one more quest to do. Yeah, I got one more. I gotta kill some drubs. And we'll pretty much be done with this episode because I don't have anything else to do. It's Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't. The events are very menial. There's the only thing I've got to do personally speaking is Rite of Exile tonight. But I doubt I'll get that far. Like we're not gonna. We're going up against one of the multi-million-dollar products of this game, so odds are we're probably gonna lose. They'll go 7 weeks. They always do. I can't remember a time where they have not had a blessed rain. And it's gonna it happens on every server. It's the same song and dance. So if you're asking, like, are there like 3 or like 6 clans that run your server? Yes. Some servers have 9. Some servers have 12. You know what I'm saying? Like they alternate the reigns based off of the top 10. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to realize, like, you'll get up to a point where skill and numbers are combined, but then RNG also kind of takes a fold. And so when that happens, you don't have much of a choice. Because like on some of these whales, they call them whale servers, where like they're literally there's a cluster, a server cluster of whale servers. And I think it's all in Darkening of Tristram, I think is one of the clusters. So on that server, I know for a fact that at one time there were the top 10 could legitimately, were all basically on the same power line. So they couldn't, the range changed every 4 weeks, and there wasn't a dominant faction. You see what I'm saying? There were three dominant factions, so they split the reign 3 ways, 3, 6, 9. You know what I'm saying? And then alternated one of the top 10 clans in and out because they can all be disruptors. You see what I'm saying? And what a disruptor is it's once you're the immortal, you don't really have, unless you got buddies in the other clans, which happens, allies, you don't have a say on the top 10 shadows at that point. You know what I'm saying? Your clan has no say because you're an immortal. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not in the top 10. So a lot of those top 10s can be a disruptor. It can be disruptive. You know what I'm saying? Because, again, they're the same power. So it only takes 3 clans ultimately to bind together to kick the crap out of the other ones. If that's the way that it goes sometimes, and it does. You know what I'm saying? And it does. So in order to appease your disruptor, you have to just basically say, hey, look, says that I've got an upgrade for that, but I think that I've already upgraded enough of these to basically kill the cow. But I'll take this into consideration. Oh shit, that's close too. That's nice. Very nice. Yeah, I've been working on getting my blues up, my sapphires, because I'm trying to get rid of like all of my rank 5s. That's my goal, if you will. But I just don't have enough. I'm gonna have to. I could turn that into a rank. These 3 into a rank 6, but I would need 2 reds to replace it. So I have too many rank 5s. Like, all of that is rank 5, and I think I actually had to break that tourmaline in order to do that because I didn't have enough. Or at the time, I didn't have enough reds because I'd made my rank 7s. So yeah. Oh shit, that's old. See what else we can put up. I sell mine. I don't give a shit. There's too many, and they don't drop enough for me to even give a shit. Like, and that's a God's honest truth, they really need to fix. They need to fix rune drops. I think that they common runes should drop as common as, you know, more than once a day. You know what I'm saying? Especially since there's probably about like 20 or 30 runes on the market right now. They need to increase the low end drop rate just a smidge. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit, tiny little touch. All right, so claim, claim, kicking ass today, I tell you, man. All right, so do I have any? No, I don't. Do I have any? Yeah, I bought it. I had to look to see if I bought it or not. It's like, did I buy it or not? Oh shit. Yeah, I'm probably gonna want to identify these. All those Legos sitting in my inbox ain't good for. Ain't good for it. Maybe. All right, so 2284. I go through these like this sometimes is because sometimes they lie. Like that 23 2021 is actually a fairly decent PvP piece, but I can't use it because I got a triple double. See what I'm saying? You got to go through all of them because this motherfucker lies sometimes. Lies like a dog. All right. 13 Legos right down the drain. But I got 53 points out of them. I save these, and the reason why is because at 800 I'll use them again for M6 gear. I'll only run the first 30 levels, so like from 7 to 730, 700 to 730, I'll run it. You know, happens that way. So close to 45. Like, so freaking close. That's as far as I've gotten. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can run. That's such a jump, too. You see the jump on that? It's like 45, 125, right? 45, 035, 45, 125, and then 45, 215. Which I think I might be able to run. Let's try it. I'm not easy to kill. Like, straight up, I'm really not easy to kill at all. So, even though these are above me, I can. You see the damage output is just like still there. You know what I'm saying? I might be able to upgrade this last piece to 20, because that's what I've been trying to do. I'm trying to get to the higher portions and break 45k. I haven't gotten shit on Oda in a while, honestly. Like, nothing worthwhile. Like, the upgrades in this one, so usually when you get like a CR bump, you know, usually it's like, you know, 1,000, 1,500 when you're, you know, going up. This one was minor, very minor, like very low. I didn't get shit. But they also decreased combat rating requirements for Inferno 5, which made this shit so much easier. So, again, they're dog walking you basically to. They call it. They even admitted it. It's called time gating. They time gate a lot, and it's just again to keep the players. You don't want your players getting too heavy. So, like if you say for example, like if you unlocked paragons, all right, like the paragon system, you would have so many people right now sitting at like paragon like 10,000. You know what I'm saying? And then those people would be the ones that would run the server, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like those guys, because their stats would be just insane. You know what I'm saying? So they have to gatekeep Paragon levels for that specific reason, so that people don't get too far ahead, and then all of a sudden it just becomes whoever can grind the fastest. Basically, it becomes like the top 10. You know, it's not a good. You can't make money that way. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a very bad business model if that's the case. you have to have somebody chasing a carrot for some reason. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. You know, like I truly do. Most of you guys are like, let's fucking read. No, dude, you gotta make money. Gotta make money. Gotta keep the lights on. All right. See how much easier that was, and that was 200 above me. Now I might be able to go. Let's take a look. Just take a look. Just take a look. Oh, nice. I actually am 2 levels above Server Paragon. Like I said, Ray, I don't try to. Oda, I try to keep, 6 to 13 levels above Server Paragon every week. It just depends. Like, there'll be weeks where I will literally, like, put in time, like, grind out. I have a good week, I call it a good week, but it's, like, I have a good week in game where I'm just like, fuck yeah, and you just grind. And then there are weeks where I just don't want to play, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll log in just to do what I'm doing right now, which is what I refer to as the bare minimum. 5.7, I need 1K. Yeah, these upgrades are coming pretty fast, though. Is that crafting upgrade? And I got it. Yes. Nice. Awesome. I will take it. Alright, all of my stats now are 20s. Which means that the left is done. I just gotta get the right done so I can unlock enchanting. Ta-da! Alright, so anything else that I need to do before I head out of here? Oh, I got a purple. But again, you can see, like I said, I have Ray and Oda are way different, and I treat them differently. You know what I'm saying? Like, Oda's way more advanced than Ray is. Way, way more advanced. And it's a lot of it is secondary. It boils down to secondary gems and the fact that I have ran so much with Oda. And, I had Ray on a different server for a while. Paid to transfer Ray over because I did the free transfer with Oda to get me off my original cluster. That's a whole other discussion for itself. All right, folks. Well, I'm done. I'm going to log out of here.